Howdy guys. How's everyone doing today? Back on YouTube or whatever. See if I post this one. Sorry if anyone saw the whatever 46-day video of my grape and lemon juice fast with some dry fasts. But I kind of been making tons of videos, and like I just kept getting like so if I repeat anything, sorry, but all of it was pretty important. But I guess I'll go into what, like, I kind of like just freaked out like on this, because now I'm on day 53, and I almost stopped, to be honest, but I've been getting just feeling really, really, really good, but it's after I release some gnarly stuff, so it's like, I don't know, man. I just want to make sure that these are the best, and I want to respect a much higher order and intelligence than myself, and I experienced some pretty intense things, so as people will on this, and but anyways, it might explain some of it later, but it's pretty heavy stuff, and I don't know. Anyways, it's just basically, like day 40, like I was pretty mellow I was getting at a higher and higher level of just well-being and every part of my body and just my system and everything of spiritual life, all of it has been so great, but getting better. But I had so much mucus that was coming out day 5 to 25, and it was still coming out from like 5 to 47, but it kind of stopped in the amounts, and it was like I was just getting really regular, like with my movements finally, and basically on that video, my hour-long video I deleted that's on the beach, and it was one of my best ones. I had another one I didn't even upload because it was like, I just don't want to like be too like, I've been in the woods for a while, like I said, and to go from that to like shining my light as bright as I possibly was trying to, I was pretty like, I've wanted to do this for a long time, so it's, but I can't just like, I have to be, I have to have some honor and be humble and have respect for this stuff, because it's heavy duty stuff and it works, and it's not going to just work overnight though for most people. But yeah, no, basically, I don't want to repeat too much, and I'm going to keep trying to keep it more simple, because that's the journey that I'm dealing with. Is we're all complex, and we live in a complex world, but the one I'm dealing with is very complex. There's just some intricate things. There's all sorts of stuff that's coming out of me, man. It's just insane. So anyways, like the crazy amounts of mucus were just coming out that day on my emotional eating, and like I was clearing all sorts of stuff, just emotional trauma stuff, all this stuff, but physical, all this mental stuff. And then the video helped me, like, I don't know, they've been helping me a lot, so I don't know, like I didn't share a lot of them with anyone, but still, it wasn't like, there's a couple things that I was like, I just don't want to come off the wrong way, and so, and I want to, like I said, go at this with respect and honor, and just, like, by no means I'm an expert, like I said before, but I've been, really high fruit, 100% to less when I messed up for a year, and juicing like crazy before that for 3 months, and not as much the fruit. But yeah, anyways, I would just like, and now doing this, it's doing the water fast and all these things that some of us must do if we really want to get well, because for me, it's the only way I'm getting well. I know that. I know it deep down, I feel it. And all that, guys. So it's just like, yeah. Right after that video I had about the 10th movement of that day, it was just pure balls of mucus. Like, and you know, like I said, I wasn't having as much of it consistently, but I still was having mucus come out that end. But yeah, no, and that was like oh my gosh, and things got really heavy from day 47 to current, and they're not letting up, and I want to pull back to the fruit. I mean, to the veggie juices. I'm gonna still do the veggies in juice form. You know, I'm still gonna go long on juice just because I need to rest. Period. Even though I know fruit's better, I'll still do fruit whenever I transition. But it's just, I ate some grapes out of like complete fear. Not a lot. That night, day 50 or whatever, night 50, just total fear, and like I just have to accept the things in me and with outside of me, and we're all one, so it's all the same thing, but it's just, anyways, guys, it just gets crazier and crazy. It's just deeper, and you learn more and more as you go along with this, and every day you're writing down stuff. It's like epiphanies every day. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like I pretty much explained it in a good manner, but life is good. So freaking lost for so long until I found Morse. I mean, I had the seeds planted with Dan the Man, and John Rose knew about Dan the Man a long time ago, 7, 8, 9 years ago, and John Rose just a year ago, and same with Morris just a year ago, but more, all of them, man. So I want to, those guys, love those guys from the bottom of my heart. They just, and the Morris thing, it's like, like I was saying before, it's like, these other teachers, these other YouTubers, and these other whatever, doctor, naturopath guys, or whatever, there's always things I liked about, mostly what they said. Not always some things I didn't like any of what they said, but it's usually, the ones that I liked. There's stuff I liked, but I didn't always just believe it. But this is, the thing with Morse is like, everything he talked about is like, it's before I even got to finish the book and go to both levels. I just went to level 1 and 2 this year. The iridology class was in there with the level 2. So, before all that, just watching that many videos, and it's just like, it's like medicine, man. It was therapy, just his videos, and like, I basically, it rang true. All the stuff he was talking about, it rang true inside. And it was, but I was also learning. You always got to take, the things from people that you like. And my point is all the things, first of all, were just it's an intuition thing. Even though my intuition's been not able to come out because it's just been so clogged with the cooked food, and just my head has been so clogged with mucus, and my whole body, man. But like, I knew it. I still had the intuition that was lighting my way, and it was like, and then the more, and it wasn't just like, oh, this intuition and me researching the more stuff and studying it, but it's practicing it on every little, like, the adrenals on the top, the neurotransmitters, and the kidneys for the blood pressure. I mean, it correlates perfectly. Every little thing, like, that he talks about, it's just totally align with my experience, and that's, yeah, so it's just marvelous, magical, I'm blessed. So, I'm going to try to keep this a lot shorter, and not that, I was pretty satisfied, almost 100%, probably even 100%, except for the last one where I was getting just too out, like, I just, anyways. But yeah, no, I really, it's just, like I said, in one of them, like, I'm just trying to be of service here, and like for the first time, like, that I've really been able to shine, and trying to feel my way with it and do it the right way, and if I can help anyone with this by just anything, or even if I don't help you at all with like insight, at least, maybe a lot of this stuff rings true to you, or maybe a lot of it doesn't, but hopefully you can, I'm hoping that I can, it's just important to have someone to relate to you during this. So, because I noticed that once I went to class for level 1, and then I went to Woodstock this year, and then I went to level 2, I mean, it was just, I stayed in contact with the people from both level 1 and 2, and level 1 and Woodstock, but like, and some people at Woodstock were at level 2, so that was in level 1, so it was cool. It was just, and I don't know how level 1 or Woodstock could have been top. They couldn't have been, but level 2 is just, it's perfect, because you need the support system, guys. Once you get to that point when you keep going down this path, you'll even though you're very sure of it, and your intuition is telling you that you're on the light way. You're on the right way. And even though that's happening, you'll still question it, because looking around, almost everybody is around you. Is gonna be like, what is this? What? Just, and they, even if they're supportive, it's just like, it's good to have people now, like, that I, heal, my friends who are healers already, like crazy, amazing beings, just doing huge things, cleaning up some messes, man, just. And friends who are going through this too, and maybe they won't be healers or whatever, but it doesn't matter, because it's just, we need that. We need to be able to have that. So I encourage you guys, before, I'm actually going to get into the topics here, to, go to a fruit festival, do something. It's the future, man. There's the computers. Go find support groups, especially if you're in these bigger cities or whatever. I didn't really do that, but I should have. But yeah, no. So anyways, I don't know. It's just like, I'll just dive into the, like the symptoms quickly, because I think I'm gonna probably have to make a whole video. I can't even write all these things down, guys. That I've had. It's these things I've struggled with, and just gave to myself too. Cause and effect. I'll own it. Like I said in one of the videos, at some point we gotta accept responsibility, take ownership, we gotta accept this and be responsible, and do what we need to do to be stable during this. That's why my feet are on the ground. I got the fresh waves, just that fresh ocean air right here, and now that I have the support, I can't stress. And I had it before, the family and some friends most friends wouldn't even come close to understanding, and nothing against them, but they just wouldn't. They would have listened more if I would have probably been like, look, man, you need to talk about this, and you need, and they're all, but whatever. You get my point, guys. It's just, it's a wild journey, like a, wild journey, and yeah. So like the symptoms, physical, these are just some of them. Like I've had basically ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, more probably towards ulcerative colitis. I don't know. All these, a lot of this stuff, I haven't even been diagnosed with because I just completely stopped going to doctors. I can't. Like, I'll talk about that later. I can't deal with that level of unconsciousness. And nothing against them as people. Like, they're kind of duped in this thinking that you can't just read other people's books and be fed this thing, and they're not all bad. So I'm not going to go into that, but like, basically like ulcerative colitis, not like a severe like some of these people, but severe in the sense that I had no life, for a long time, years. I always went, way too much, about, 4 to 5 to 15 times a day for like 10 years, depending on the time. It's a long time period, but so that's been nuts, and that has just been getting cleared up like crazy through this. Also just urination things that are and prostate, like trouble urinating, and prostate, like just inflammation in my entire body system, my whole body, so there's that, and then just like complete up here too, and I'll go into that, complete, everything has been, some things are completely already gone, but some things like the fatigue stuff, which is, I had a lot of old stuff, and then I had a lot of new stuff happen 15 months ago when I had this severe disease stuff, but it wasn't really a surprise. It was like, wow, you see why, I always never had health. I've never had good health, and just because these things have gotten better from changing my diet, and like before, like 10 years changing my diet, like when I was super sick, and I couldn't talk for like 6 months. I mean, I couldn't, there's weeks where I wouldn't talk, and that was from smoking cigarettes and quitting the first 2 years, but I'll go into that later. But it's just like all these little things that you have struggled with, if they go away, yeah, like if you have a standard American diet and you change to a little bit plant-based, yeah, you're going to think you're healed. You might. And it's going to take a while for the improvement to happen usually, but maybe not. It depends. But, but that's, when some of us need to keep trudging and just trucking towards the diet that's intended for man. We're frugivores, so could go on and on, but it's just about that one. But the best diet is what I have to do right now. I have to do what's best. I mean, it's the most simple thing in the world. How can you? How do you argue with it? Whenever man does something to the food, any of it, making soy milk, any of these things, it's different than having some edamame beans or whatnot. Or I'm not going to get into all these rants today, but so yeah, like just. Physical stuff that wasn't, I had like prostatitis like 13 years ago, I don't know how long ago. All these things that I was actually diagnosed with. I've had asthma since I was like 2, and that, holy moly, I haven't even used my inhaler like once for probably 5 days, like one time. Usually I have to use it once, and I don't want to use it even that one, usually 1 to 5 times before this. And keep in mind, like I was on like I said, hard, pretty committed to the fruit for a year, but like the high water content, the rippers, the bangers, the boomers, just all these freaking hardcore fruits, man, that basically are going to wipe you clean, just scrub you clean, and just clean you and strengthen you, just like the herbs, same thing. And yeah, so the physical stuff, like, so much stuff I couldn't even get into it. So this is already 20 minutes, it looks like, so I'm going to try to keep this one short, but there's so much physical stuff. So much, like, like just the emotions. I've been doing tons of emotional work, a lot of trauma work this year. Like I said in the one video that I deleted, but lots of it. And it's been paying off. And the more I go, it's just easier when the less you get clogged, the more you go on these roads that are difficult and frightening and scary, and you must do them depending on how long for you, but you must do them sometimes. And the longer you go, you start feeling real good. Like, you still have these days where, like, I had the days where it was like during that before that video, like, I've been having fatigue, the usual night fatigue. Like, sometimes it was non-stop fatigue where it hurt to, like, get out of bed, or like I just laid in a bed for 15 months in a lot of ways, guys. So I know other people have been in a lot worse challenges than me. They're health challenges, guys. They're not health problems or anything like that. So we just got to get through it. And anywho, it's just like so much physical stuff, so much that I can't even get into. The sexual thing, that improved. Like, just saying this for you guys that are having trouble with that or whatever, anyway, because it's a part of life, right? It's important. The raw food, like, and specifically, yeah, so just the fruit and just, so all these things physically, the emotions, like I kind of verged from the emotions to the physical, but it's all intertwined. That's the thing. It's all, the deeper you clean, it just gets to, yeah, I remember that. I'll go back into that when I'm done. It's just, all these memories and all these things and all this stuff, it's all stored in your cells. And so you're scrubbing. Anything could happen that you could imagine or couldn't imagine. And so the state, the emotions have been really, let me get a little more centered here. Yeah, the emotions have been, like, now I can deal with them. Like, not that I was pretty stable before, but I still had, like, little amounts of anxiety from when I had it really, really bad, like when I stopped doing cocaine and all the crazy drugs 11 years ago or whatever. So you always have these remnants of things, but like, and I've in scatterbrain and uncertainty and whatever, shyness around others, adrenals, all these things point right to the adrenals. It's like, and once you start fixing them a little bit, you notice, and it's just so much easier to deal, like, with life. It's like before, if you were a person who couldn't deal with life and your emotions and your mental state or anything, man, the raw food and and the fruit and all that stuff is gonna, it might be harder for a while, but that's why I urge you guys to get on it as soon as there's you notice there's hardcore emotional stuff. So yeah, the spiritual, like I said, the spiritual life is just, I really kind of lost part of my spiritual life. I'm a spiritual guy, like I've just always been that way, and even when I was 16, I was into shamanism and whatever. Just, I've always been into the road less traveled. It's a hard one, and it's not my ego, it's hard, guys. But yeah, like, one more thing that I was starting to say about the physical is, like, like, even during this 53 days of grape and lemon juice, I have basically like had fatigue almost every night, like hardcore, like where I have to, like, lay down, put in earplugs, and like put something over my face, and so it's not bright, and just I get the sensory overload thing, and like just have to let it pass. And like that doesn't really happen that much, but it happened 3 times the day before my emotional video on emotional and overeating type things, emotional eating, and it was like I knew the whole time. You know the whole time when this is happening. Eventually you will, that these are just toxins and mucus being loosened from your body, and you need to get that stuff out of there. And it's coming, and it's rough. It's really rough. There's so many. This has not been a fun journey at all, just any of it. But it needs to be done. It needs to be done. And basically, yeah, it's like when I started having like day and a half of nonstop, a whole day of 10-ish, just balls of mucus, like, then you really understand it. You know what I mean? You don't really understand this stuff until you're going through it. And guys, I'm not urging anyone to do like any crazy water fast or long water fasts or long dry fasts or anything, but or a long juice fast. But man, the juice fast is like, all I have to say is it's what I needed. Combining it, solid food vacation idea with the grapes and lemons, just it's what I really needed to do, because like I said, I was so regular, but I've been pooping the whole time. The whole time I've been pooping. That just says how clogged we are. And we need to sometimes give our digestion a rest. Even though I thought I was that regular, I was just that not working good with. I was just not functioning with my, my digestion, my absorption, my utilization, and elimination of food energy, and I just wasn't able to, get to the dark, deep stuff. So I just urge you guys, like. Do what you need to do. Research. Always do your research, and always think for yourself. Think about each person's take and what rings true to you, and experience it. But be careful on some of these levels, guys, because you bring up some rough, gnarly stuff. And I'm gonna try to leave it pretty much with a couple more things. Like, there's a lot more of all sorts of symptoms, especially like, the scatterbrain and all these things that I would have. And with each movement of these mucuses, sometimes, like on that day when it was really intense, it's like, man, my level of like clarity just kept getting more and more, and just like something I've never experienced. Like, and just no scatterbrain, no fear, no anxiety, no nothing by any means, and just like feeling so good, and like channeling source, like I've never could imagine, and it's an honor, and that's why I'm still like, you notice when this stuff comes out of you, and you notice before when it's just tearing you up, when it's trying to get out as fast as possible, but it's not gonna always be easy. But yeah, like I said, like in the other video, like this world is not there to always, be your friend, or like, it's not, you gotta go out of your way a lot of the time to get yourself well, to even live like a in my opinion, semi-healthy life in this world. You gotta go way out of your way. You gotta do some research, and you gotta stop thinking. It's the big thing. So like, sometimes we need to get into this deep alone state to do these things, like Morse says. And I was in the deep alone state for years, living in the woods by myself, and just climbing mountains by myself. Like, that's all I did for a long time. And like, and whatever. You can get into these deep alone states before, but do them the right way. Like, do what you need to do. Like, there's just like a sense of urgency I feel, where this message is important, and I'm going to keep it here because I don't want it to go over 30, but namaste to you all, blessings, and don't hesitate to leave me a comment or message me on Facebook. Like I said, I'm detoxification specialist, regenerative detoxification, guys. It's regenerating the tissues, the cells, everything. And then when you look in the eyes, so I'm 1 and 2 for that, but I'm still getting my own thing. I'm not trying to even think about taking on clients or anything like that right now, but I'm sorry. The other videos were probably just as good, but meandering. But look, guys, get the support, stay strong. I don't know, I'm just trying to give to the world, and I hope this helps someone, and I hope that you guys are making it through some of these battles. So love and light, guys, and just peace to you all.